6,62,000 electric two-wheelers sold in 2024. Just 6 years ago, that number was 17,000. That's a 3,800% jump. Something massive is unfolding around us, and no, it's not just happening in Delhi or Mumbai. It has roots in Gorakhpur, in Coimbatore, in Guwahati, and other tier 2 and 3 cities. In today's episode, we decode the rise of India's EV startup ecosystem, what's driving it, who's building it, and what it'll take to keep it going. Let's begin with this. Now, India's EV market is projected to become a $132 billion industry by 2030. But these are just projections. Let's take a deeper look at what's real. In 2024 alone, India sold over 12.6 lakh EVs, of which 6.5 lakh EVs were just two-wheelers. But here's where it gets interesting. If you think that this is a metro-driven revolution, think again. Uttar Pradesh, not Delhi or Bangalore, leads the nation in EV registrations. Now that tells you something fundamental. This is no longer a trend that's happening in metro cities. The transition is happening from the bottom up. So what does the EV ecosystem look like? We often think it's about electric vehicles being sold. It's not. We can more or less divide this universe into 4 layers. The first are the OEMs, or the original equipment manufacturers. In simpler terms, these are the startups and companies that build the EVs you see on the road. Think of Ola Electric, Ather Energy, Tata Motors, Mahindra, Simple Energy, Ultraviolet, etc. They are the most important when it comes to building trust, because this is what the customer sees and experiences. If they like the EV, the industry gets a major boost. But what sets some of these OEMs apart is how closely they've listened to the Indian consumer. Take Ather Energy for example. They started by building performance-focused scooters like the 450X, designed for tech-savvy urban riders. But they realized something crucial. In most Indian households, a two-wheeler isn't personal, it's shared by students, parents, and even grandparents. So they launched the Rista, a scooter built not just for speed, but for shared Indian lifestyle. For grocery and daily run errands, it includes 34 liters of under-seat storage, one of the largest in its segment. For the older generation, it has a wider seat and backrest, offering upright posture and comfort for long rides. For young riders, features like skid control, auto hold, and connected dashboard makes it feel smart and safe and cool. And this pivot worked. Rista now accounts for 60% of Ather's total revenue. That's a startup scaling with speed, but grounded in real-world use cases. The second layer in the whole ecosystem are the battery tech companies, the heart of an EV. It decides how far you go, how often you charge, and how much you pay for a period of time. The big players in this field are companies like Loam, or Clean Energy, or Neuron Energy. Traditional players like Exide and Amara Raja are pivoting to EV-focused battery manufacturing as well. The third layer is any company that comes under the charging infrastructure. This is where EVs live or die, because range anxiety or charging anxiety is real. Startups like Static, Pneumocity, Tyrex are building public charging networks across highways, malls, apartments, and offices. Today, Maharashtra leads with over 3,000 charging stations, followed by Delhi. Even Andaman and Nicobar Islands has 3. So this sector is growing fast with serious participation. But India still needs millions of micro-charging points. That's the next frontier. Lastly, it's the fleet and mobility startups. Now, these are companies solving real-world transport problems with EVs. You'll recognize Yulu, for example, for short-range city rides. Zip Electric powering EV delivery fleets. You have Ola EV cabs as well. Together, these 4 layers form the EV startup universe, and each layer is exploding with innovation. The next thing that's important to decode is why this acceleration. The obvious answer is demand. But here's the real breakdown. Firstly, there's been a big policy push. India's EV journey began with a government scheme called FAME, Faster Adoption and Manufacturing of Electric Vehicles. It had 3 phases. The first phase of FAME was between 2015 and 19, and it focused on demand creation and basic subsidies. The second phase was between 2019 and 2024. Now that brought serious money, covering 7,000 e-buses, 5 lakh three-wheelers, 10 lakh two-wheelers, and more. Now, FAME 3 was introduced in 2024, which was later replaced by the Prime Minister's e-Drive, The Prime Minister's e-drive now aims to transition 8 lakh diesel buses to clean alternatives, invest in charging and battery infra, push electrification of trucks, ambulances and delivery vehicles. States have their own incentives as well. UP, for example, gives 25% capital subsidy on early charging stations, and Tamil Nadu offers 1.5 lakh subsidy per charger for the first 300 stations. Other states have their own policies as well. Secondly, there are technology improvements. Batteries are more efficient, range is better, charge times are faster, and Indian manufacturers are finally building for India, not copying models from Europe or China. Thirdly, it's the cost and behavior aspect. Fuel prices are high. EV running costs are 1/5 of petrol. More people are now seeing EVs not as an upgrade but as a default. And when you save 100 rupees a week in fuel, word spreads. That's what's happened with the two-wheelers. All of this has led to a sharp growth. Here's what it looks like. In 2018, India sold 17,000 electric two-wheelers and 2,000 electric four-wheelers. In 2024, two-wheeler numbers grew to 6.6 lakhs and four-wheeler numbers grew to 63,000. That's more than 3,000% growth in just 6 years. And it's not metro-driven. Tier 2 and Tier 3 India is leading in adoption. Bihar, Assam and UP account for 28% of three-wheeler EV sales. While all of the above is great, we have problems that need to be addressed fast. First, public charging infra is patchy, especially in residential areas. Second, uptime is poor. Chargers don't work when you need them. Third, no common standards, different stations, different plugs. Fourth, low awareness. People don't even know where to charge. These are just infra problems. There are challenges we are facing from a sourcing perspective as well. We're still heavily reliant on China when it comes to sourcing, and we need to address that fast. This is where the next generation of EV startups will be built, fixing the fundamentals. So where do we stand? It feels like the shift is real and the growth is exponential. Government has set a goal of 30% EV penetration by 2030. Will that happen? Looks difficult, but we will wait to see. One thing is for certain is that both private and public sectors are strongly backing this industry. If you're a builder in this space, this could be our moment. Because we're no longer talking about EVs in the future tense, they're here. The question now is, who can scale fast, build local and stay reliable? We are no longer asking if this will work, we are now asking how big can this get? Now that's a great sign. That's all for today on Startup India Update. If you like this breakdown, share it forward, and I'll see you in the next one with another story worth decoding.